welcome to the Farmers Union Insurance Pregame Show. My name is Lauren Hill, and I'm here with Ken Oda and Edward Neiman. And we are here to talk about tonight's game, our home opener against St. Cloud. So, again, tonight is the home opener for the Minotaurs. How are we feeling, guys?
I'm feeling good, Ken. It's my first home opener. I know you've been through a few of these, but for me, I'm really excited for them to get back out in front of the environment, both for myself, but also for those new guys especially, and the returners to come back into this environment, especially coming off last season. So I'm excited to see what the environment is after being 2 straight weeks on the road.
Yeah, I'm excited too. You mentioned it's been a lot for me. This is my 13th home opener, 14th overall for the organization, and for the most part, they've been good events for the team. Tauros usually have a winning record, or do have a winning record, usually pick up wins on the Friday night. Not going to give away the McDonald's Tauros trivia question answer just yet, but Tauros have been very successful on home openers, so hoping for a good night and continuing that streak.
So since this is your 13th season, what can we expect just fan-wise, crowd-wise, in general?
The fan base here has been amazing since I got here, but it continues to grow, continues to pack this building. Last year we sold out 24 of 28 home games in the regular season, so I would expect a rowdy atmosphere, and I would expect for a lot of the guys who are playing their first game in front of 2,000 people, maybe a little bit of jitters, but like I said, the Tauros have been successful. The jitters hit both sides, right? And I think, not to pick too much on St. Cloud, but they're certainly not used to playing in front of 2,000 people in their building, so hopefully we can take advantage of that.
Awesome. That's so good to hear. So let's take a look back at last weekend where we were in Austin, and Edward has the info with this.
Yeah, Lauren, a really good series for the Tauros coming off, I guess 2 losses to cap off the showcase. Tauros did a nice job going on their first Central Division road trip of the year, picking up 2 wins, as I mentioned, against the Austin team that was undefeated to that point in the season.
And they had played before the showcase as well, so undefeated, not just the 3 games of the showcase, but they had beat up on North Iowa before the showcase. So, and a playoff team last year with a lot of returners.
Yeah, and Ken, the impressive thing to me, too, was just the balance of the team, both between returners and new guys. Obviously, Uhala in the first game really had himself a night. But then, I think just in between, you had a lot of the returners as well kind of steady the ship. The Tauros had led the series up until the late stages of Saturday night, and that's when Austin got their first lead, but Tauros erased that and picked up the win. So I think all around, you just really like what you saw out of the Tauros in that series, and fighting back through some adversity, especially on Saturday night.
Yeah, you like to see the blowout win. You like to see them get down in the third period, still come back and winning games different ways. That was a huge key to last season's success. Also, hats off to Cody Campbell, right? Getting both goaltenders in last weekend, getting most of the guys who were in the lineup at least one night. So getting everyone in, getting their feet wet, getting them used to it, so you don't have guys sitting around wondering when they're going to get their chance.
Yeah, and I also think that's big for a longevity standpoint of the season. We talk about it all the time. It's a very long season, especially if you make a playoff run into May. So I think one thing last year that was big for the Tauros is just having fresh legs out there on a nightly basis. And if the Tauros are able to continue to have really good depth, I think we'll see that play to their benefit when we work towards the end of the season.
Well, and you look at it as well, needing to push back and come back in the third period on Saturday. That's a little bit harder to do if you've got 21 tired bodies in the lineup, but with getting new guys in from the night before, you've got a little bit extra push, a little bit more energy, and we talk all the time about the Tauros conditioning, right? Comes back and helps out. Doesn't matter that they're down 1 in the third period. They've got the energy, they've got the ability to push back, and the speed that Austin struggled with all weekend, taking however many penalties they took over those 2 games, that continued to be a problem, and the Tauros are able to fight back in as we see the game winner here.
Yet another bright spot, Ken, for the Tauros as well, was special teams, 3 for 6 on Friday night and 2 for 8 on the power play on Saturday night. I know that was kind of a tough start to the year for the Tauros, especially on the power play, but I think they really came back nicely in this series, and you like to see it, adjustments being made even though it's this early in the season.
For sure.
All right, now turning our attention back to tonight's game, our home opener, let's look at our Noodles numbers brought to you by Noodles & Company of Minot. So starting off, our Tauros are currently 3-2-0, and the St. Cloud Norsemen are 4-1-2. So head-to-head last year, we played them a total of 12 times. We won 9 out of 12 of those games. They were the latter half. And then goals as per goals per game, we've increased our average, going up to 3.2 goals per game, as they are at a 3.7 goals per game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen from St. Cloud they can score. The trouble for them has been keeping the puck out of the net. That hasn't been an issue for the Tauros. Swedes and Mizenko both playing well. Tauros giving up just 1.8 goals per game compared to 3.29 for St. Cloud. So I think the Tauros offense and Norsemen offense maybe match up well. The difference this weekend very well could be goaltending.
It's the defense, yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've been impressed with as well. Going back to just the depth of this team, goaltender by committee last year worked out well, and if we can continue that this year, I think the Tauros are going to have a lot of that same success in that department. So I look forward to seeing how that'll play out this weekend against a Norseman team who has picked up a couple pretty good wins here early in the season.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the power plays, we've been able to convert 20% of our power plays, making us sixth in the league. Although St. Cloud has been able to convert 27.5% of their power plays, making them first in the league.
Yeah, and Tauros first on the penalty kill as well at 100%, so strength against strength there. It'll be interesting. I imagine whoever wins that battle probably picks up the points tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's, early in a series too, like tonight, you want to, if St. Cloud is able to convert on a power play, that can really shift the momentum. So if the Tauros are successful in the special teams department, once again, I see them putting themselves in a real good position to take tonight's game.
Exactly. That leads into the penalty kills. We've been able just to keep that record at 100%, of 14 of 14 penalty kills completed, while they have been able just to do 78.79, putting them at 26th in the league for this.
So yeah, like Edward said, hopefully the Tauros can pop a special teams goal or two. That'll go a long way to helping pick up the points on the weekend.
Mm-hmm. And then as for penalty minutes, we've been in the penalty box for 34 total minutes, and they've been in the penalty box for a total of 89. So big difference there.
Yeah, playing clean hockey, that's also, important. We talk about converting on the power play. If you just stay out of the penalty box, you don't even have to worry about, any of that at all.
No, their first-ranked power play becomes moot if the Tauros just continue to not take penalties.
And then our Minotauros Booster Club players to watch, I'm going to throw it to Ken to start off with his choice of Billy Batten.
Yeah, I think Billy Batten's a guy to keep an eye on. He's got 3 power play points, a goal and 2 assists. Had a goal and 2 assists last weekend in Austin. 1 goal, 5 assists overall on the season. I think as far as new faces go, Tauros fans in the building, you're familiar with the 11 returners, but as far as a guy to keep an eye on who's new, Billy Batten off to a good start to the season.
Yeah, I'm going to take Leo Tsabulis, a bigger body out there for the Tauros. We talk about the speed, and that played a factor into last weekend's series against Austin. But Leo Tsabulis, the guy 6'4", a little bigger body out there, I think could cause some problems against the St. Cloud team.
And throwing it to the keys to the game, brought to you by Home Key Group. Ken, what are your keys for tonight's game against St. Cloud?
Well, first off, home cooking. We've talked about it right at the top. Tauros' first chance to play on the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena. I think you've got 2,000 plus fans here in the building going nuts. An atmosphere they haven't gotten a chance to play in yet. I mean, it was decent crowds in Austin last weekend, it looked like on NATV, but certainly not 2,000 people, and they certainly weren't rooting for the Tauros. So, get used to getting a home game, getting the fans behind you, and not having to get on the bus. Another one, key number 2, would be new faces. We talked about it during Keys to the Game. We threw out a couple of them, Billy Batten, Leo Tsabulis, I should say. Get those new faces in here as well, and get them accustomed to playing on the Pepsi rink, but also new faces in the sense that we've seen this St. Cloud team in the division. We've a lot of familiar faces on the other side, but also new faces behind the St. Cloud bench. Joe Exeter takes over as head coach from Corey Millen, so we saw him in the preseason, have maybe an idea of the style of play, but this is not the same Norseman team that we've seen in past years. And key number 3, go streaking. They've won 2 in a row, 3 makes it a streak. Might as well get hot and go on a run here early.
I like that key.
And Ken, you talk about Friday night, the importance of that. We've talked about it before. We'll talk about it again. You win Friday night, that puts you in a very good position to take the series sweep. And I think if the Tauros get one tonight, that streak will continue potentially into tomorrow night, or at least they put themselves in a really good position to take another weekend series.
All right, Minotauros fans, it's time to take out your phones and pull up the Tauros mobile app for your chance to win prizes throughout tonight's game. All right, so our first segment here is the Four Bears Sportsbook over-unders. So we're going to have 3 different options here for us to pick and choose on. And with our first one, we have the total Tauros first period goals. Are we going to go 0.5 over or under?
I'll take the over. I think this place is going to be rocking. I think the guys are going to be excited. I look for maybe one of the veteran players. I don't know. I'm feeling either Ohani or Spence to come out and pop one in the first 7-8 minutes of this game.
Yeah, Ken, I'm going to go over there just the same reasons that you mentioned. I think the environment's going to have a big factor in that, and I expect the Tauros to get one early.
No, I agree. I'm gonna go over. Just with what I've been told about the energy in here and just everything, I'm going over. All right, for the next one, we're gonna go total attendance for tonight. Are we going over under 2,000 people filling Mesa Arena?
I feel like this one's a gimme. I'm going over.
Easy.
I'm gonna go over too.
Over. Yeah, it's not even a debate. Over. All right, and our last one is total Tauros goals. Are we going above or below 3.5?
I'm going to go over on this one. I think the Tauros, what I saw last week, combined 9 goals on the weekend. That's going to continue into this weekend. Good goaltending for the Tauros, I think, will help them really be on the aggressive side of the puck tonight and get a couple, especially early in this one, like I mentioned before.
We saw the Noodles numbers, St. Cloud giving up 3.29 goals per game. I think this Tauros offense is really clicking right now, and with the St. Cloud penalty kill struggling as well, I'm going over.
I'm sticking with the pattern. I'm going over.
All right, well,
all right.
That'll bring us to our McDonald's Tauros trivia question. I always ask you guys this one because I'm ancient. I already know all the answers. So tonight being the Tauros home opener, McDonald's Tauros trivia question. How many home openers have the Tauros won in a row on this current home opener winning streak? Your answers, 13, 12, 11, or 10. How long is the home opening winning streak?
I'm going to go first here. As Ken said, this is his 13th season here. I don't believe it's been that many. Maybe Ken was the good luck charm, and I could be wrong here. But I'm going to go for the happy medium of 11.
I'm going to go 12. It's a shot in the dark, as always, with the McDonald's Tauros trivia for me, but I'm going to go with 12.
All right, fans, get your guesses into the Tauros Hockey mobile app under the interactive tab. You can play those. You can also play other games like the Bones Barbecue Pig Race, the Honda Race. New prize for the Honda Race, the Yeti mug, along with 50% off an oil change. So you want to get your guess in on that one, as well as the other interactive games.
Awesome. Well, do y'all have any final thoughts for tonight?
I'm excited, Ken. I'm just excited to be back in this building. The Tauros played well last weekend. I think it's going to be another good weekend for the Tauros.
Yeah, like the fans, it doesn't matter that I've been at this for 13 years here in Minot, or 16 years as a broadcaster. I'm excited too. I'm happy to finally be playing back in the Pepsi rink. I say, hey, I get to throw 28 parties a year here in this building, and not just excited for the hockey sense and seeing the guys go out and hopefully pick up 2 points, but there's a lot of people when you've been here as long as I have that around the building. I don't think there's any section here of fans that doesn't at least, or any section of seats that doesn't have at least a few fans that I know and know by name, and I'm looking forward to just walking around the building, seeing old faces, and getting the whole 2,000+ person family back together for a reunion. So I'm excited for tonight's home opener.
That was the best answer possible. That's awesome. All right, well, that will do it for the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. After the break, the puck will drop on tonight's game in